Hello hoes, my name is Kristen and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is one I wasn't 100% prepared to be making tonight, but I'm very happy it is so. I got my long-awaited package from New Life Tropicals out of Thailand. You know, we haven't heard a whole lot about this company recently. I feel like last year, 2019, there was quite a few people, other YouTubers ordering from them, but not much this year. It's possibly because at the beginning of this year, when COVID started to become more prevalent, they put on their website that orders were not immediately or near immediately being sent out after purchasing them, and that there would be some wait time. Apparently they had some issues with Thailand customs, things being held longer than they should have, and plants eventually arriving to their customers dead because of that wait time. So to ensure that people got their plants in good condition, they opted to hang on to them until they knew the plants had a better chance to get to the customers in a timely fashion. So, some months later, I get my package, and I ordered it on May 27th. It is now Thursday, the 20th of August. So, definitely some wait time. I did email them halfway through all this to inquire about it, and eventually they did respond and just kind of updated me that they're still doing test runs to make sure that all the customers everywhere are receiving decent looking plants. I got notified that the plants had been picked up Friday the 14th. They left Bangkok on the 15th and arrived at London on the 16th. On the 17th, they arrived in the US, Miami, Florida, and were on the 18th presented to customs, and later on that day, toward evening, I got a message that further inspection was needed. Then on the 19th, I was getting pretty anxious. In the morning, the notification was again that further inspection was needed. Toward the evening, the message was that it had passed customs. So, huge sigh of relief. But it is Thursday, and I was a little nervous that it wouldn't leave Florida in time to make it up to me before the weekend. But thankfully, without warning, I didn't get notified that it had been shipped from Florida or that it had been dropped off on my doorstep. But it is now Thursday the 20th, and I got my mail. So I'm going to open this and check it out. Fingers crossed that it all looks good and it wasn't delayed too long and things got stressed. I'm also hopeful that the plants were not heat treated. I have heard that some people are getting plants that were heat treated just to try and nuke any germs that might be mailed between countries. Let's hope that's not the case. Before I open that, I do want to address that I think that they might have forgotten to send a plant, but let's dive into this before we get too far down that rabbit trail and see if that's true. And I can't exactly show you the box because I attempted to cross out my name and all the tracking info, but there's like 3 or 4 labels on here with my name, so I'm just not even going to show it. And this is a pretty big order, guys. Not gonna lie, I spent some money on this, like $237 worth. And that does include shipping and the phytosanitary. I made this purchase when COVID started to rear its ugly head and I needed to self-soothe. And I either had the option of buying plants or resorting to my childhood self-soothing method of sucking my thumb. I could have just bridged the age gap and slapped a rubber nipple on a gin bottle, but again, I decided to buy plants instead. Because obviously, when a pandemic hits, you buy plants. You know, you don't stock up on food goods, tuna and rice and all that. You buy what really matters in a pandemic, and that's a lot of steroids. They sent me a list of what I ordered, the invoice here, and the dollar amounts, which is kind of helpful. I will read out to you how much I paid for each of them as I unbox. So this may or may not have been the whole reason I put this order together, one of them, and it is the Epipremnum pinatum skeleton key, and I've been wanting this guy for a hot minute. I was starting to lose hope on this order and almost purchased it a couple of times, but the first place I saw at eBay, it ended up being like over $100, which is crazy. Ooh, yeah, he looks a little off. Poor baby. I don't know if you can see. He looks a little sad. But it's the roots that count. I'm probably not going to be potting them up directly. I think, based on just what this looks like at the moment, I might be putting them into damp spag, which is a great method that worked in recovering my sadder looking ecuagenera plants. So this root is half mush, and there's not a whole lot of roots we're working with here. Quite a few decimated leaves. Is this savable? Probably. Is it disappointing? Yeah. That was $22. Still a lot better than, you know, the over $100 that it was on eBay. Although I do kind of wish I saw it at Peace, Love, and Happiness Club for $60 with shipping. Kind of wish I had snagged it, but let's just keep going. So this is the Philodendron bipennifolium hammerhead gold. And this was only 18 bucks. Oh! Oh! Ah! Crumple, crumple. This is much more promising, guys. This is the hammerhead gold, and you can see this one's a little bit more yellowish. I do have a Splash Gordon bipennifolium, which I'm not really, now that I own it and have observed it growing, I'm not super impressed with the variegation, and I kind of wanted to try another bipennifolium form, so I decided to get this one. I rarely ever see this And the new growth is going to be a bright gold. And I'm assuming it turns more green as it ages. But this is good quality. This is what I expected out of the skeleton key. Okay, I got a Florida ghost. Been wanting one for a hot minute. Serious plant envy. This is my Florida ghost. And fun fact I recently discovered is that Florida, Philodendron Florida, is actually a cross between Squamiferum and pinatum. And I'm assuming that Florida Beauty, variegated, and Florida Ghost are just variations of that hybrid. Ooh, it's so pretty. Florida Ghost was only $36, guys. And I'm not looking super closely at these leaves. I suppose I should, to see if there's any bugs. I don't see any. Got some cool leaves going on here, guys. My double chin of excitement. Provide little dog poop bags too. Nice bonus. Okay, pretty chunky, pretty decent. My experience importing from Ecogenera does tell me though that there might be some hang time and we might lose some foliage. They might not look good, but I am prepared. I have some sphagnum, and I think I might, like I said earlier, put these in damp spag instead of immediately potting up. I'm very happy with those two. The poor Epipremnum, it's a disappointment. Oh, this one's chunky. This is a Philodendron lime fiddle. And this guy, here's a big one. Oh my god. Ah. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. Look at it. Look at that variegation. This reminds me a lot of my mottled syngonium. This is impressive. This is impressive. I just need to like calm down because I'm mentally already saying I need to order another round from New Life. But if it takes a few months, it's probably not a good idea because I doubt they have heat packs to send in winter. I should have ordered more plants. I don't need them, but I should have. Okay, this is kind of odd root system here. We've got a nice long aerial root there and some teeny tiny roots right there. It's a confusing plant, I gotta say. There's not much roots. You can see it was just like a top cutting here. I'm guessing it's gonna need a while in sphagnum to root out more before I'm able to pot it up, but that's okay. I am very happy with this. This is This is a cool, chunky plant. And it was $22. What? Oh, it smells funny. Okay. Ooh. I feel by the density of this bowl that I know what it is. Never mind, I don't know what it is. It's a syngonium podophyllum blinding light. And there is not much information about this cultivar, and I kind of assumed when I bought it it might be synonymous with just your elbow variegated syngonium, but apparently it is one that is known to be extra good variegation. Ooh! Heck yeah! This leaf is absolute toaster strudel here, but the other ones look pretty good. Got a fully green leaf here and two nicely variegated leaves as well. Looks like the one that burnt was hard to say. That's a variegated syngonium. There's a little bit of like brown spotting. I don't think it's too serious. Again, we might lose some foliage along the way. It's kind of to be expected though. This is taking a very long time. Woo! Got ourselves a dingle dangler here. Some good root system. This is my Sansevieria quirky variety pulchra coppertone. Thankfully, snake plants are very tough, and just like babies, can be dropped on their heads repeatedly without damage. Ooh! Oh, it's so chunky. And the cool thing about this variety is coppertone. Look at that coppery coloration to it. I had been wanting one of these. Didn't really want to pay 50 some bucks for a start of Sansevieria, so ordered it from New Life and it was 15. Very stocky, very impressed, and they do have a very large selection of different Sansevierias, so if you're in the market for them, I would check them out, and they seem to ship just fine. And I believe I did hear that they were, if people are just ordering Sansevierias, sending them out because they are so tough and dependable, even long-term in the mail. So this is him. This guy I might just go ahead and repot right away. Now this one is the plant that kind of worried me because I made this order, like I said, quite a while ago. Kind of forgot everything that was on the order. When I went to recently peruse it again, I noticed that it was no longer on my order form, and the tally for all the plants had suddenly gone down from 237 to 209, which was weird because we hadn't been credited at all for the remaining monies. So I was just kind of confused on if it was going to be shipping, if suddenly there was a crop failure and they had to refund me, which hadn't happened, so they did send it. But that might be a lesson to me to take more screenshots of what I order, especially if there's going to be a long wait time before I get the plants. This is Philodendron billeti. This is the medium-sized billeti, which was 28 bucks. I'm so happy. This was, aside from the skeleton key, my second planty reason for putting the order together. Look at it. Look at it. So, I'm sure most of you guys know by now what makes billet special. My girl has orange petioles. Some might call these stems. These are actually petioles. And you can see it a little bit more with the new growth. Or should I say old growth? It's dying. It's either old or new, I don't know. The petioles are characterized by the bright orangish color on them. I'm very excited for this one. One day I will own a variegated variety. I'm just saying, I'm going to own one day. But this is a good start. Learning how to grow the species. $28 is a hella good deal. Okay, we got a couple of saddish roots here. Quite a few saddish roots. And they're just literally just falling apart here. Looks like I got some plump ones up here and a lot of nasty ones. But again, it's not unexpected, and I think that's kind of the nature of importing plants. You're going to see a lot of stress and have to do a lot of recovery to them to recuperate them. So, my thoughts on New Life Tropicals. The only disappointing plant was the Epipremnum skeleton key, and I think I can potentially revive it. Overall, I am pretty happy with my purchase. It did take a while. I went into it knowing that it would be at least a little while before I got my plants. They arrived in great condition, and I would much rather wait an entire season to get good plants than have them ship immediately and get toast or strudel for plants. So I'm happy with my purchase. I would order again. I probably won't be doing any more though from at least New Life this year, just because the wait time was so long. I don't want to end up receiving plants in the dead of winter. So that kind of concludes today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing the planty mail I got. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe, healthy, and sane, and I will talk to y'all soon. Goodbye.